Alright, hello gang. Can y'all hear me okay? Am I audible? I know we had some issues yesterday with me not being able to be heard. That took a little while to be, dealt with. So, can y'all hear me? Hopefully y'all can hear me. Alright, I can be heard. Hooray! So, I know it's off kilter for me to be streaming today, especially since I try to devote it to just Mondays and Wednesdays, but let me explain to y'all the thought process that went through my head last night and this morning. So in case y'all don't know, the first semester of my senior year of college starts on Monday, and at this point, I'm like trying to just sort everything out, put all my like due dates on my calendar because A, all of my classes are going to be online this semester, and B, I tend to be a bit of a forgetful person, so calendaring helps me out a lot. And I realized that a number of I realized that I wouldn't have like a day where I won't have to either like turn something in or live stream. I wouldn't have like a day off from either of those in a little while. And I also really want to finish the fanfic we started yesterday because I'm legit curious on how it goes because I haven't read a full Lovely Angels book, quote-unquote book yet. I mean, it's obviously just a fan fiction, but you get the idea. Anyway, I came to the realization that I won't have as much time as I normally would over the summer to just, like, sit down and read shitty-ass fan fiction at random. I have to actually, like, start sticking to a schedule, so I kind of wanted to do something today, maybe also on, like, Saturday, because I'm going to be busy tomorrow, as one last hurrah for the summer before I end up slaving away for my senior year of college. So, anyway, without further ado, we're going to keep reading Tamara, Prince Carl Philip, and Tamara Mowry fanfiction by the Lovely Angels. Now, last time, these two dumb fucks got engaged, and they also got married. I skimmed over the wedding chapter because it was fucking stupid. They played Faithfully by Journey at the ceremony. There's a lot of inaccuracies. They went to the, Kate Middleton weddings for some reason, and we looked at some photos. So, anyway, nothing of value was gained from any of this. One person who saw yesterday's stream was like, where's the conflict? What's the actual plot? It's like, I don't fucking know. It looks like it's just a wish fulfillment fic. So without further ado, let's start off with chapter 3. Rocky, are you having fun yet? Happy birthday, Victoria. I'm glad you're having fun, Rocky. And we see another obviously shooped image here. I guess they used a blur effect this time to try and make it look more realistic? I don't know. Anyway, chapter 3. Let's do this. Translucence. Beauty. Wintry daylight. It all fills me with such holy moments. That sounds like a sexual innuendo, but I'm not gonna judge the book for this. Chapter 3, Happy Birthday, Victoria, June 24, 2011. Prince Carl Philip and Princess Tamara opened the Open Palace event brought to you by the Department of Redundancy Department. As traditional, the Royal Palace in Stockholm was opened on 6 June, my mom's birthday, with free entry. Prince Carl Philip and Princess Tamara pushed open the heavy doors on Slottsbacken at 10 o'clock to commemorate Sweden's National Day and to welcome the public. This year, the theme of the Open Palace event was remembering Prince Bertil, who was born 100 years ago. Prince Bertil's apartments were therefore open to the public during the day. And what relevance does this have to the main plot, or lack thereof? Since we're reading a Lovely Angels fic. A photographic exhibit. I cannot I cannot pronounce shit today. I'm like jacked up on an entire can of Monster Ultra Blue, so my mind is like a fucking firecracker right now. A photographic exhibition about Prince Bertil was also opened in the Guards Hall of the Bernadotte Apartments. The exhibition, brought to you by the Department of Redundancy Department, will remain open all summer until 16 September. In the inner courtyard, the Royal Muse... the Royal Muse. Maybe it's just because I'm a dumb American, but I just imagine like a bunch of anime cat magical girls a la Tokyo Mew Mew just being like employed by the Swedish royal family as guards. Someone make an anime of that, please, for the love of God. I would watch that to hell and back. Are y'all having fun yet? Is this entertaining in any way, shape, or form? I sure hope so. The Royal Tokyo Mew Mews displayed cars with a connection to Prince Bertil, and a carriage was on display inside the East Gate. X. July 2, 2011. Princess Tamara of Sweden and Prince Carl Philip of Sweden, brought to you by the Department of Redundancy Department, arriving at the Royal Palace in Monaco for the wedding of Prince Albert II of Monaco and Charlene Woodstock. During the wedding in the day, she kept it simple with a blue sheath dress with embellished belt and gleaming dangle diamond earrings. Hello, Super Dark. Welcome. Welcome to the party. Beautiful Princess Tamara of Sweden graced the Monaco royal wedding reception. She wore the Connaught tiara and completed it with a diamond necklace. And this was relevant to the plot because... July 14, 2011. Birthday celebrations for Crown Princess Victoria. The Crown Princess's birthday was celebrated on the island of Åland on Thursday, 14 July. Rocky, DM me later because this has to do with my ultimate plan to troll the Bernadottes. DM me after the stream, please. The Crown Princess's birthday was celebrated on the island of Åland on Thursday, 14 July. About 100 people gathered in the rain at the circus. Sounds about fitting for the concept of monarchy. It's an absolute shit show. In front of the Soledad Palace to congratulate the Crown Princess on her 34th birthday. The Crown Princess listened as the crowd sang Happy Birthday and gave 4 cheers, which were led by the king according to tradition. The Queen and Prince Daniel also attended the celebrations at Soledad. A gun salute was fired from Skipsholmen in Stockholm at midday. In the evening, the king and queen, the crown princess couple, Prince Carl Philip, Princess Tamara, and Princess Madeline were driven from Solent Palace to the festival at Borgholm Sports Arena in a horse-drawn cortega. I really do feel like I'm reading a Wikipedia article with their OTP just plastered in. Not OC, because Tamara Mowry's a real person with real feelings, just their OTP. The Crown Princess presented this year's Victoria Scholarship to hockey players Daniel and Henrik Sedin. Daniel and Henrik Sedin were awarded the scholarship because they have been each recipients of the Art Ross Trophy in 2010 and 2011 for the NHL player who is on top of the league in scoring points I miss Princess Jamila. Well, they haven't updated that story yet, so I can't really, like, contribute anything else to it until they do. And show players by the top of the league in scoring points, which is a unique achievement. Both won Olympic gold for Sweden in 2006. Their concern for children is reflected in their donation of $1.5 million to BC Children's Hospital Project. What does this have to do with Carl Phillip and Tamara again? Why am I supposed to care about this? Musical entertainment was provided by all these fuckers. A collection is underway via Radio House Japan for Crown Princess Victoria's Fund for people with disabilities or chronic illnesses to mark the birthday celebrations. I don't care. No. Let me emphasize. Let me clarify. I don't have issue with raising money for people with disabilities or chronic illnesses. I just don't understand how this is relevant to the main characters of our story. You get my gist? August 17, 2011. So I'm obviously not even about the royals themselves. I know! I feel like I'm just reading a bunch of Wikipedia articles. Hi, Roxanne. I want to die too. August 17, 2011. Rocky, I apologize in advance for my absolute shitty pronunciations. Kronprinsparet Vantaban. The Crown Princess couple is expecting a child. Deras kungliga höghet Kronprinsessan Victoria och prins Daniel har den stora glädjen att meddela att de väntar barn. Wilson Burkhardt till Mars 2012. Den viljen mannen var bra. Under Hawks in 2011 förväntas inga stora förändringar i kronprinsessparets program. Oh, hello! Hello, Kaz. Welcome to Flower Gothic slowly dies by reading Cursed Monarchy fanfiction. I'm not gonna repeat my botched Swedish attempt. I sound like I have a really exaggerated German accent. I mean, I am of partial German descent, so maybe that's why. The Crown Princess couple is expecting a child, blah blah blah. We don't give a shit. August 24, 2011. As they were being driven to the Brigade Museum in Karlstad, finally the plot's beginning. You sound like you're choking. I mean, I don't blame you for thinking that, Cause. This fanfic is slowly sucking the life out of me. As they're being driven to the Brigade Museum in Karlstad, the plot is finally beginning. Carl Phillip squeezed Tamara's hand. "You will do great. Don't be nervous," he said. "It's hard not to be," Tamara said. With that, she smiled, and soon she was stepping out of the car to a flurry of flashing lights. Isaac comes around the car to her side, and they turn to smile at the awaiting media. Then Tamara walks up to the little girl with brown eyes holding a bouquet of white tulips. She bends down to the little girl who smiles and hands them to her. Tamara smiles back and says, more botched Swedish for me. "Tack så mycket. Vad heter du?" "Lillian," the girl says shyly. "Well, these flowers are beautiful. Thank you for giving them to me, Lillian." "Kan jag få en kram?" Tamara asked. The little girl nods and gives Tamara a hug. Her mother then tells Tamara, "You are a kind princess," brought to you by the Department of Redundancy Department. "Thank you," Tamara said. "Darling, we have to go in now," Carl Phillip said. "Okay," Tamara said, standing back up as Carl Phillip then puts his hand on her back to lead her inside, but not before Tamara could wave at the little girl and her mother. Wattpad, it all makes sense now. Wattpad is like one of my favorite websites because it's full of so much cursed content like this. They greet the administrators inside the new memorial inside the Brigade Museum, and Carl Phillip goes to make a speech that Tamara and Carl Phillip then unveil a plaque for the memorial for war veterans at the Brigade Museum in Karlstad. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought the plot was actually beginning. Where's the plot? I can't see it anywhere! Where's the conflict? Okay, continuing. Carl Philip and Princess Tamara of Sweden stop and smell the roses in Varmland. Prince Carl Philip and Princess Tamara of Sweden, brought to you by the Department of Redundancy Department, were all smiles while visiting Varmland on Friday. The royal couple was greeted with flowers as they arrived at City Hall, where they had lunch and met with children. During their visit, Carl and Tamara also stopped by Soba, a company that makes valves for pulp and paper industries, unveiled a memorial for war veterans at the Brigade Museum of Karlstad, as we've already established. I can't believe it's not plot! Exactly, Super Dark, exactly! In attendant dinner hosted by the governor, Carl Philip and Princess Tamara visit Varmland dinner. Princess Tamara and Prince Carl Philip, Duke and Duchess of Varmland. In case we haven't established that yet, Prince Horvoto with Governor Kenneth Johansson and his wife Viola in connection to a dinner at the Varmland County residence in Karlstad. The Prince couple is on their first visit to their home county as Duke and Duchess of the Varmland. I don't think that's how you refer to Varmland. August 28, 2011. I flew out to Los Angeles to visit my family and meet my nephew, Cree, for the first time. My sister, Tia, in case we haven't already established. Plot is when two characters do exposition questions with one another and full descriptions of everything as it currently exists. Well, according to the lovely angels, it sure is. Maybe one day I'll read their weird K-pop fanfictions, but we gotta read the cursed royalty fic instead. My sister, Tia, in case we haven't established this already, wanted me to meet her at this clothing store called, Eli. I walked into the store and my sister greeted me at the entrance with a hug. Hi, how are you? Tia said. Hi, I'm good. How are you? I asked. I'm great. You smell good, Tia replied. Thank you, I said. A conversation normal humans have in normal human scenarios. We started looking at clothes. So how have you been? Tia asked. Tired, I answered. Are you sick? She asked. No, I replied. Do you want some coffee? She asked. No, I just been feeling really off, I answered. Three guesses now as to what's going on with her. You're wrong. She's pregnant. I bet she's pregnant. I haven't had greasy food or anything like that in a long time, and I just went and had a nice pepperoni and cheese pizza, I replied. Instead of a pepperoni pizza without cheese. Tia made a face. Tamara, why would you eat that? She asked. Because that's what I wanted, and it's good, I answered. That's nasty and so unhealthy, Tia said. You know what? It could be the cheese making me feel like this, I said. Yeah, it could be, she said. Maybe my stomach is not used to the pepperoni, I said. Yep, that's what it is, she said, agreeing with me. Hello, Carl asked, answering the phone as I drove. Hey, babe, I answered. How are you? He asked. I'm not feeling well, I answered. I'm so sorry. Are you okay? He said. Yeah, I think it's something that I ate. I felt like I had to throw up, and you know I've been super nauseous. I think I might have a stomach bug or the flu. But I looked at my calendar, and Carl, I'm 2 days late, I said. I called it! She's pregnant! I'm a fucking psychic, I tell ya! A psychic! Wow, okay, he said. I chuckled at his response. So I'm gonna have to take a pregnancy test, I said. The line went quiet. Hello, I asked. Wow, that's a surprise, he said, laughing. I laughed. You know what? If it's meant to be, then it's meant to be, he said. I'm nervous because Carl and I wanted to wait before trying to have a baby. Pregante! It's only been a month and a week since we got back from our honeymoon. Don't overthink it, Tamara, he said. I love you so much, I said. I love you too, he said. August 29, 2011. I cannot believe that I'm taking a pregnancy test. Carl and I only started talking about having babies, and this is all happening so soon. She's pregnant. No. She is not in a relationship with Onision. If you're impregnated by Onision, you're pregnant. But if you're not, you're just pregnant. I'm excited, but at the same time I'm a little nervous. I placed the test on the counter and went to sit on the bed. Waiting for 2 minutes was interesting. I just feel really nervous. Felt like the whole world just stopped. I took a deep breath and went to go look at it. I looked at the pregnancy test and shock! Positive! I went and sent Carl a text that decided to call him. Babe, did you see the text I sent you? I asked. No, wait, hold on. Let me check, he answered. Okay, I said. No way, he exclaimed. I laughed. You're pregnant, he said. Yes, I exclaimed, squealing. We're having a baby, I said. I'm so excited. Wish I was there with you, he said, blood-curdling scream. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to, shut my mic again. Leave it. I'm going to save it for my blood-curdling laughter when they talk about the blending of the races again, which we haven't gotten to yet. I'll be home soon, so we can celebrate, I said. Okay, I love you, he said. I gotta call my mom, I said. Okay, he said. Are y'all excited for their pregnancy? Press F in the chat if you're excited. No one. Chapter 4. Ass Tangka Hingu. All I have to offer you is everything in me. Chapter 4. September 6, 2011. Okay. Before we continue, let me say this. I do not know if the people who wrote the Lovely Angels fanfictions are minors or not. But, considering the average Wattpad account, I'm going to assume that they are no younger than 24. No, older than 24, my bad. I'm dumb. And that they have not had babies yet. So, I'm going to be under the assumption that they just Googled what happens to you when you're pregnant. Not pregnant, Super Dark! And they're just going to, play it by ear. But yeah, Super Dark, all of their books are about, like, weddings and babies, which is kind of sexist in my opinion, but we don't know who any of these people are. So, let's continue. My breasts have gotten bigger too. I could get used to this, I joked. Feel them, I told Carl. Oh no. Oh no. He placed his hand on my left breast before it started to squeeze gently. You like it? I asked. He nodded. You know, in the book Tia gave me, it said that women's breasts start to get bigger around the 6 to 8 week mark and continue to grow throughout pregnancy. And in the 3rd month, your breasts start producing colostrum, which is the milk your baby will get when he or she starts nursing, I said. Yep, they Googled it. They definitely Googled it. Well, you are 9 weeks pregnant, Carl said. I still cannot believe I'm pregnant, I said. Not Gregnant. Thank you, fanfic author. I needed this breast information. Rocky, do you need brain bleach for that mental image of the prince of your country groping an American actress? Do you need brain bleach for that? When do you want to announce the pregnancy, he asked. October. Definitely October, I answered. Plus, we still have to tell my family, Carl added. We'll tell them tonight, I said. X. Let's do it. Tamara, how are you? Sylvia asked, greeting me with a hug. Already prepared with lots of pictures of cute animals. Good, Rocky, good. I'm great, Sylvia. How are you? I replied. I'm well, thank you for asking. As everyone took turns greeting each other before taking a seat in the sitting room, brought to you by the Department of Redundancy Department, Carl and I stood in front of the fireplace, holding hands so we could make our announcement. Mom, Dad, we have an announcement to make, Carl said. What is it, Carl XVI asked. We're having a baby, Carl and I said at the same time. Congratulations, oh how wonderful, another grandchild, said Carl XVI smiling. Congrats, my dear, said Carl XVI hugging me. Did the stream die for a second there? Sorry about that. You missed it. The only thing you missed is that now the family knows they're expecting a child. Congratulations, my son, he said, hugging Carl, his favorite child, tightly. I knew it, Victoria explained. Congrats, Madeline said. Another grandbaby for me, Sylvia said. Congratulations, you too, Daniel said. Madeline and Victoria were the most excited, with Sylvia not far behind. They all three started helping me play in the nursery, because that's the only thing women think about! That's the only thing women think about is marriage and childbirth, because the woman's only purpose is to bleed on the birthing bed. Fuck you! This is why, like, no royal family is going to be, like, accepting of me in the off chance that I actually shag a royal, because I am, like, completely against their concept of government on so many levels. And also because I'm an unrefined asshole, but that's another story. After all, the only good monarch is a disposed monarch. And now I am on Sapo's watch list. How far along are you, Madeline asked. 9 weeks, I answered. So you and I are only a few weeks apart then, Victoria said. I'm due April 14th, I said. I'm due March 3rd, Victoria said. I hope you two know those due dates are never really accurate, Sylvia said. September 12, 2011. The day after 9/11. How have you been doing? Victoria asked, a little concerned as we were having lunch together. I'm well. The baby is well. I'm just concerned. There is so much going on that it's a bit overwhelming. Morning sickness and I aren't the best of friends and I get horrible headaches, I said, and Victoria nodded her head understandably. My audio keeps cutting in and out? Huh. Can y'all hear me, like, right now, or am I muted? The most unrealistic thing in this thing is that this family is happy. Yes, you are exactly right, Super Dark. Am I audible, or... Okay, I can hear you, but it's choppy. Give me a quick second, y'all. Okay, am I audible now, y'all? I just, like... Yeah, no, I know there's, like, a delay for some people, and I apologize for that. Anyway, am I audible now, or... Okay, good. Continuing. I know, it can be, especially during the first pregnancy. This is your first pregnancy! Holy fuck! But it gets better and it will be worth it, you'll see. And if you need anything, I'm just a phone call away, Victoria said, smiling. Thank you, Victoria, I said. What do you think you're having, she asked. I feel like it's a boy, I answered. Really, she replied. Yes, my sister has a boy, so I assume I'll have a boy too, I said. Well, I think I'm having a girl, she said. Do you have a name picked out for your girl, I asked. Estelle. That's a beautiful name, Tori, I said. Does anyone in their right minds nickname a Victoria Tori? I've heard Vicky, like, 5 times more often. And that's the name of the sadistic babysitter from Bruce Hart. Did I say Bruce? Bush Hartman's The Fairly Odd Parents, not Bruce Hartman. Why was I thinking Bruce? I'm a dumbass. What about you? She asked. Aiden or Alexander? I answered. Different and traditional, she said. I want something different, but Carl wants something traditional, I said. Just hyphenate it. Aiden Alexander. Problem solved! Don't worry too much on the name, Tam. Once you see your baby, I'm sure the perfect name will be picked for him or her, she said. X. September 15, 2011. Another news article. Great. King Carl Gustav, Queen Sylvia, Princess Tamara, Prince Carl Philip, Princess Madeline, Prince Daniel, of Crown Princess Victoria attended the church service at the Great Cathedral before the opening of the Swedish Parliament in Stockholm, Sweden. Fun fact, the Queen Elizabeth's mother was nicknamed Buffy. Like the Vampire Slayer? What's the history behind that? These kids have never read anything beyond the covers of gossip papers. Probably super dark. Probably. Princess Tamara and Prince Carl Philip arrived at the Parliament in Stockholm 15 September 2011. Members of the Swedish royal family attended the opening of the Parliament Riksdag. In the evening, they attended a performance at the Royal Swedish Opera. This was completely irrelevant, and nothing of value was gained. September 18, 2011. Hey, what are you guys doing in London? William asked as we entered the college. Hello, Will. We're here to open the exhibition. I'm dumb. Apparently Buffy has been a deceptive nickname for an Elizabeth for centuries. Huh, I didn't know that. We're here to open the exhibition Ungate at Farmelo Building in London, Carl Philip said. Hey, William, where's Catherine? I asked. She's in the kitchen with Harry, William answered. We went to the kitchen and Catherine let out a squeal as soon as she saw me. How are you? Catherine asked as I leaned in to hug the Duchess, kissing her cheek. Are you having fun now, Cause? 'Cause I know you're British, and I know that you also do not give a shit about the monarchy. Or at least, if I recall correctly. I'm Will. We came over to share some news with you two, and two will now three, I answered as I introduced myself to Harry. Hi, I'm Tamara, I said, holding my hand for him to shake. Hello, I'm Harry, he said, shaking my hand. I'm having a good time, thank you. Well, I'm glad you are. I know. You're cuter in person, I said. Carl, I think your wife has a crush on my younger brother, William said. What? Tamara, step away from the ginger, Carl said. I do not have a crush on Harry, I said. Anyway, what's the news you guys wanted to share with us, Catherine asked. Well, we wanted you guys to hear from us before it's announced, Carl answered. Oh my god, you're pregnant, Catherine squealed before she hugged me, then we started jumping up and down. Congratulations on your swimmers working, William said. You know, when I woke up this morning and decided to do a surprise stream, I was not expecting to see two princes refer to seamen as swimmers. I was not hoping for that. But now we've read that together. Brain bleach, anyone? Thanks, man, Carl said. Congrats, on the baby, Harry said. Thanks, Harry, Carl said. My brain is pulsating with questions. Like what, Super Dark? Give me your questions now. Do you think they'll stop jumping anytime soon, William asked. Nope, it was even worse when we told my sisters and mother. They started planning the nursery, which I have no say in, Carl answered. How far along are you? Catherine asked once they finally stopped jumping. 10 weeks, I answered. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you two. We definitely need to go shopping, Catherine said. 1. Why? 2. Why? I don't know the answer to either of those, Super Dark. I feel like eventually I'm just gonna get like a harassing DM from the lovely angels like, how dare you read our fanfiction in public, but it's like, look, you posted it online, so you should expect criticism and scorn. for purposes of royal setting play in their fantasy vision of marriage and pregnancy. Well, it's not just that, it's also like K-pop shit, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how the lovely angels here work. Maybe you girls should shop online for now so you won't get spotted by paparazzi, Harry said. I'll go get my laptop, Catherine said, walking out of the kitchen. Good luck, Carl. Your card will be maxed out by tonight, William said. September 20 to 21, 2011. Prince Carl Philip and Princess Tamara visits London. What purposes the royal setting highly the K-pop version of how reality works? I know I shouldn't, say this, but, what are y'all's assumptions on the authors of this fic? Because it's a joint account, so it's two people running it. What are your assumptions on them, given the, what is this? I think this is the third fic I've read from them? Yeah, the third. And probably the last once I finish this for a little bit. Because I have more than just the lovely angels in my, fanfiction library. But give me your assumptions now. On 20 and 21 September, Prince Carl Philip and Princess Tamara visited the Swedish Trade Council in the HEMA Swedish Design Goes London exhibition. Their visit began on Tuesday, 20 September, when the Prince and the Princess listened to a library talk on the theme The Big Game in Swedish Architecture, an outdated model, at the Swedish Embassy. Here, they also had the opportunity to see their HEMA Swedish Design Goes London exhibition and speak with the exhibitors. On Wednesday, 21 September, the princely couple began by visiting Scandinavia, a company that focuses on Scandinavian design. They then learned about the Swedish Trade Council's international work and its operations in the UK from the Swedish Trade Council's CEO Ulf Berg and the Council's country manager in London, Frederick Hagström. The afternoon began with the princely couple listening to a library talk on the theme Trends Within Young Swedish and British Design at the Swedish Embassy. They live somewhere small and puritanical, but not outright hostile or tyrannical. You're making me think of, the Great Plains region of the United States, those really small countries in Europe. It could be either of those places. The day concluded with the princely couple visiting Designer's Block, where they opened the Ungate exhibition. In a speech, the prince mentioned his visit to the HEMA Swedish Design Goes London exhibition, where he had the opportunity to see new Swedish and classic design in two different settings. Yeah, some Great Plains small town with neat rows of similar houses. Yeah, probably. If I had to guess the state the American person in this account lives in, I'd go with, Utah. No, not Utah. Utah's too Puritan. Maybe a rebellious Utah. But for now, I'm gonna say Montana. For the dairy and IHOP in sight. September 24, 2011, Carl Philip racing for Porsche Carrera Cup. Prince Carl Philip racing the Porsche Carrera Cup at Montreux. And these fans were the prince's father, King Carl Gustaf, and the prince's wife, former actress, Princess Tamara. And this has no relevance to the plot. Next chapter. Chapter 5. The Power of Love. This story, holy fuck. Your true success in life begins only when you make the commitment to become excellent at what you do. Chapter 5. 11 October 2011. Royals cheer on the home team in the European Football Championship. Prince Carl Philip and wife Princess Tamara watched the Sweden vs. Holland European Football Championship at the Rasunda Stadium. Sweden beat Holland 3-2. 15 October 2011. Sweden's Princess Tamara is pregnant with her first child. Prince Carl Philip of Sweden and wife Princess Tamara are expecting their first child. The royal couple announced the exciting news on social medias, including Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where they showed a gorgeous black and white photo of themselves and added they should expect their little bundle of joy in April 2012. We are so happy and excited to announce that we are expecting our first child. They wrote in a statement, Sweden cannot possibly beat the Netherlands at football. Rocky, can you confirm that? Sweden can't beat the Netherlands at football? We are very much looking forward to it. The palace also revealed on Facebook and Twitter that neither the prince nor the princess have changed their public appearance schedules during the fall season. The gorgeous newlyweds have been together for 3 years but made their love official in June at a jaw-dropping royal wedding in Stockholm. Before tying the knot, Princess Tamara was known as Tamara Mowry, a former actress. I am aware that the Netherlands is one of the best teams in Europe. Like, from my understanding, the Netherlands and Germany are like two of the top teams in Europe for football. There isn't even a sign of the tiniest baby bump, yet. But we'll be keeping our eyes open. Sweden is in the middle of baby fever, as there is another Swedish royal who is expected. Crown Princess Victoria, the 34-year-old future queen, is pregnant with her first child. Germany, Netherlands, France, and Spain. That is not surprising at all. Congratulations to the happy couple on their exciting news. 20 October 2011. Good morning, Tam, Carl Philip said as he looked at her with sweepy eyes and a broad grin. Leaning up, he sealed their lips and ran his tongue along her lower lip. As in the case of most things, England sucks. I mean, from my understanding, England sucks at so many things. Well, good morning, Carl, Tamara said as she smiled against his lips, her arms wrapping around his neck. Smiling, Carl Philip moved down and kissed her stomach. And good morning to you, too. It's your papa speaking, he said. Carl, you know the baby can't hear you yet. Babies can hear sounds from the 18th weeks, Tamara said as she smiled, stroking his cheek. Another bit of knowledge that has been gained via Wikipedia. I cannot wait to find out what we're having, Carl grinned, placing a kiss on her stomach. Brought to you by the Department of Redundancy Department. It's a boy, she said. Carl pulled her close and smiled. Okay, if you say so. Are you hungry? He asked. Yes, and don't even bother trying to cook, Carl, I answered. Are you ever going to let me try? He asked. We'll go to a cooking class, I replied. X. 22 October 2011. Are you sure there are no paparazzi? Carl Philip asked his private secretary. Yes, sir. No one is notified of your arrival in the States, so the paps are not aware. Okay. Let me make this very clear right now. Aside from the British royal family, Americans do not give a shit about any other royal family out there. Okay, maybe a little shit here and there, but no one in America, at least in my part of America, gives a fucking shit. The king and queen of, say, like, the Netherlands could probably just, like, walk around without anyone really knowing who the fuck they are. It's not a big deal. Though it would be best if we moved discreetly, as anyone from the public notices you and Tamara, it would be a mayhem, his private secretary answered. Tamara was in the bathroom. Morning sickness had taken a toll on her. You sure about staying at Tamara's place? His private secretary asked. Yes, she has a house in a gated community. We're safe enough, Carl answered. Royaboos are weird. They are. I've lurked around like royalty blogs on Tumblr, and they're such cringe. Tamara returned next to Carl Philip as they hopped in their designated vehicle. 20 minutes or so later, they arrived at Hidden Hills, which is a city and gated community in Los Angeles County, California. Open brackets, citation needed, close brackets. It is located next to the city of Casablanca and is located in the west of San Fernando Valley. It is notable for being home to many actors and celebrities. Apparently the Monarchy subreddit is the worst at it. I have not looked at the Monarchy subreddit I've never looked at it. Like, I mostly lurk on Reddit. I barely post on there. Are you sure this is the correct address? His private secretary asked, marveling at the view in front of him. Yes, this is my house. Well, our house, Tamara answered. Carl Phillips smiled. I think we should head inside before anyone sees us, Tamara advised. I like the Tumblr and these Wattpad ones are about marriage and wedding and outfits. And the subreddit? What's the subreddit like? I'm legit curious now. Yes, of course, Carl Phillip responded, prompting for their companions to follow them. How big is this house? Carl Phillip asked as they entered the house. Apparently, hasn't she owned this house for like years? Didn't they just imply that? Why is this the first time Carl is seeing it? The redwoods are actually absolute monarchy is good, peasants dying is good. Nicholas Chu of oh, that's a big yikes right there. That's a yikes. Fucking hell. 6 beds, 7 baths, 10,789 square feet, 2.3 acres lot, Tamara answered. It's a very beautiful place, Carl Phillips said. I just realized you've never really been here before, Tamara said. Yes, blame protocol, Carl Phillips said. So tell me more about our home, he asked. Oh, for the love of Christ! Oh, God. Time for some more exposition, folks! While our home is nearly 11,000 square foot showplace, it's beautifully finished throughout. Interior features include storied ceilings, each with unique detail, a stellar home theater with 14 reclining seats, big game room, a wet bar, and adjoining poker room, a gorgeous professionally equipped chef's kitchen that opens to the great room of custom entertainment center, plus large formal dining and gorgeous office/study. The superb master suite offers a retreat resort quality bath, 2 designer finished walk-in closets, and mirrored exercise room. All secondary bedrooms are en suite, each with all-stone bath. The lush gardens include sparkly 51-foot long infinity edge pool and spa, fire/water bowls, and over 1,500 square feet of covered patios for outdoor entertaining. Also encompassing a fireplace and barbecue center. The nearly 2,000 square foot 6-car garage features 2 18-foot wide doors and 1 10-foot wide RV door, plus high ceilings, storage areas, and epoxy floors. Other amenities include Duchateau, European white oak floors, all custom cabinets, home security system of cameras, vantage lighting system, and plus we have a guest house where out staff will be staying, Tamara replied. Instead of the guest rooms because they're peasants, fuck them. Question she asked? Answer she answered. Pretty much. Why don't we go to our room? Carl Phillip asked. Sure, Tamara replied with a smile. Before dragging Carl Phillip by his arms, they ascended the stairs. Once they reached the room's door, prepare to be amazed, Tamara said. Oh, really? Carl Phillip asked. Ah, yes, I totally believe Tamara Mowry was able to buy that with her royalties from Twitches and Twitches too. Tamara opened the door and it revealed their master bedroom. It's so bright in here, Carl Phillips said as they entered the room. Not really. Come on, let's take a nap before we have to go and see my family, Tamara said. Tia, we are here, Tamara yelled. Do not yell at me, young lady, Tia scolded, walking down the stairs. Tamara rolled her eyes and muttered under her breath. Crazy lady. Oh, Carl, you're here, Tia said, giving her brother-in-law a hug, and completely ignoring Tamara. Hello, I'm here too, Tamara said. Oh, right, nice to see you, Tia said. Oh, it's like that, Tamara said. Yup, it is, Tia said. Enough with the banter and join us in the kitchen, Cora yelled. Jesus fucking Christ, what is it with this story? Alright. We're on chapter 5 out of 15, y'all. Let's keep going. Chapter 6. Terror de Leon. It is impossible to be both selfish and happy. Chapter 6. 23 October 2011. Princess Tamara, Swedish, shows off growing baby bump in Asso's gown, fit for a royal. Since joining the Swedish royal family in June, Princess Tamara has been turning heads with her high-end fashion choices, but for her first engagement since announcing her pregnancy, she opted for a more affordable brand. The expectant mom attended the Royal Swedish Academy of Engineering, signed with her husband of 4 months, Prince Carl Philip, on October 24th in a floor-length peach Assos gown. Isn't this how you're supposed to speak? Apparently so, Rocky. Apparently so. The Suka gown features a twisted front detail that hugged her growing baby bump to perfection. The gown that is not part of their maternity collection definitely did not break bank, as it is available for only $143. The gown to be isn't the only Swedish royal that loves the Assos brand. Tamara's sister-in-law, Crown Princess Victoria, who is also pregnant, has also been seen out and about wearing the company's clothing. The mom of one wore a red and black star print dress sold by the online retailer to attend a royal engagement in Lima, Peru. Both the pregnant royals look forward to welcoming their children in the early months of 2012. Prince Carl Philip and his new wife announced via the Swedish royal family Facebook page that they were expecting their first child together earlier this month. The parents-to-be wrote, "We are so happy and excited to announce that we are expecting our first child. We are very much looking forward to it. The Swedish palace revealed that the birth is expected to take place in April 2012, only a month after Victoria's first child is due. 25 October 2011. I want to be driven mad by getting to know what's going inside their heads when they write this. Honestly, me too. I want to know, their thought process before every story they write. I want to know, I want to, get in their heads and just see what the fuck is wrong with them. 25 October 2011. Sweden's pregnant Princess Tamara sports an elegant braided hairstyle as she holds hands with husband Prince Carl Philip at Venice Film Festival. The royal couple attended the Venice Film Festival together on Friday, where they were spotted holding hands on arrival. Tamara was the picture of elegance in a blue midi dress, which she paired with stylish sandals. X. Do you want to sit here? Tia asked as we arrived to the table in the restaurant. You can swat there since you're a mom now, I answered as I took a seat next to her. Aw, thank you, Tia said. The waiter came and took our orders and left. 4 months is a long time, Tia said. I know, to be honest with you, I miss everyone here, and now that I'm pregnant, I really feel like I don't have the support system that I used to have. I'm not saying that Carl and his family are not supportive, but you know, I just wanted to be like how it was for you when you were pregnant with Cree, I said. Tamara, you know you still have the same support system, just with more people added on. You can always call and visit and vice versa with us here. I think if you should talk to Carl about this and see what he can do for you to feel better about this, Tia said. Okay, I will. So as Korea asked. Conflict averted. Because, of course, there's no plot in this story. There's never a plot in a Lovely Angels fic. Haven't you learned anything? Well, he's nearly 4 months now, and I can carry him on my hip, Tia answered. Really? I asked. Yeah, but I was told you're not supposed to do that. You have to carry all his weight in the middle of your chest, Tia answered. Oh, wow, I said. So what have you and Carl been up to, besides being royals, Tia asked. We have been just doing us. We've already started looking for nannies and baby-proofing the house, I answered. Baby-proofing already? I did not do that, I'm sorry, until 2 weeks after I had Cree, but I guess the earlier the better, Tia said. I'm sorry, but I can't help myself. Your boobs move a lot, I said. Aside from marriage and pregnancy, what need is stated by creating this? I don't fucking know! I don't know! I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When I was a kid, I was not the kind of kid that kept, continuously planning her wedding and having children. I never really thought of it that much. So this is still, kind of an alien concept to me. What do you mean, Tia asked. You have mom boobs now, I answered. Your boobs are about the same size as mine. What do you have then? Tia asked. Not mom boobs. Yours jiggle and everything, I answered. We started laughing. This is about to be your boobs in a couple months, Tam, Tia said. 10 December 2011. Kill me now. Princess Tamara attends her second Nobel Prize ceremony, and this time with a tiara. Skipping that. Oh, for fuck's sake! Are they just... For the love of God, you don't have to add these details. They're pointless. They're fucking pointless. Like, just give me the details important to the pregnancy. Okay. Chapter 7, Birth of Adrian. And we're probably going to stop here after we finish, guys. And then we'll go over the next few chapters later. Make sure you don't start seeing yourself through the eyes of those who don't value you nor your worth, even if they don't. Chapter X. April 12, 2012. I didn't think anything could be so small, Carl Phillip whispered. Oh, I'm sorry! You thought you were going to see the birth? You thought you were going to see the birth scene? Because you know how painful that was going to be? Well, no! This is utopian fanfiction, gang! You don't see anything problematic. Conflicts get resolved almost immediately, so we don't need to see a painful birth. We just skip that and go right to the baby. For fuck's sake! I feel like I just snapped. The fact that, like, nothing's fucking happening is just, like, killing me. Tamara grinned from her place on the bed. He definitely has your hair, thank God, she said. The small baby reached in his sleep and grasped his finger, making him smile. I love him, he said. They spent the next 40 minutes talking to the family and replying to messages from everyone. Because, you know, if we actually showed that, that would have led to character development, which is illegal in a Lovely Angels fanfiction. The next morning, the royal court released the statements of congratulations from the family to Carl Phillip and Tamara. Later that afternoon, the family had all go visit Carl Phillip and Tamara. Soon as they walk in the house, Daniel hugs Carl Phillip on the back and says, Congratulations. Thanks, man. I can't believe I have a son, Carl Phillip said to Daniel as the girls were busy gushing over Tamara and Aiden. Welcome to fatherhood, Daniel said. Character development is cringe. Prince Carl Phillip and Princess Tamara have a son. Prince Carl Phillip and senior consultant Sophia Brismar-Windle during the press conference at the Danurd Hospital. On Tuesday, April 12 at 6:25 p.m., Princess Tamara gave birth to a son at Danurd Hospital in Stockholm. Weight, 35.95 grams. Length, 49 centimeters. Both mother and child are in good health. Prince Carl Phillip was present at the hospital throughout the birth. April 29, 2012. Today was a long, busy day with the king's birthday being on the 30th. The whole country was having celebrations that had been going on all day for the king's birthday. Rocky, does this actually happen? Tamara's sister, Tia, brother-in-law, Corey, and brothers, Tyver and Tyver, and all the siblings of Daniel. All one sibling. It's one sibling. For the love of God, it's just one person. Keep it together. This is the last chapter for now. Were invited and in attendance. The next day saw extended celebrations, including the traditional ones held each year for Carl Gustav's birthday. This year, royals from all over the world had flown in to celebrate, including William and Catherine, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. The morning began with a TDM service at the Royal Chapel of Stockholm Palace. The change to the guard and children presenting flowers to the king came next. Depends on how you count the whole country. Everything that's not Stockholm. Because I know Stockholm has its own fundamentally different culture compared to the rest of Sweden. Or at least that's what I've been told. So, that's what I mean by the whole country in this context. Everything. Then no. That's what I thought. I figured that, like, the only part of Sweden that gives a shit about the monarchy is Stockholm. And even then, that's like the more pretentious people. There was a lunch for the guests and a balcony appearance at Drawing Home where a small concert was performed for those in attendance. After the balcony appearance was over, before the gala dinner in the evening, Catherine pulled Tamara aside. "Congratulations on the baby, Tam," Catherine said, giving Tamara a hug. "Thank you, Katie. And happy 1-year wedding anniversary," Tamara said. "Thank you, Tam. So, how is it, being a mom now?" Catherine asked. "Amazing, the best feeling in the world," Tamara answered. William and I have started trying for a baby, and I'm super nervous about having a child brought in the public eye," Catherine said. "That's wonderful, Katie, and I know what you mean. I was scared but also very happy when I found out I was pregnant, but I want you to remember one thing. The child you and William have in the future belongs to you and not the public. You get to raise this child however you want, and that's the most important thing. Do not let the public dictate your child's life," Tamara said. "Last time I checked, the public pays for your expenses. So, I don't feel like that's 100% correct." "Thank you, Tamara. You always have the best advice," Catherine said. "What is it?" "You're welcome, and now I have an important question to ask you," Tamara said. "What is it?" Catherine asked. "Will you be one of Aiden's godmother?" Tamara replied. "Of course. Oh my, thank you so much for the honor, Tam," Catherine said. "Exactly, Superdark. This isn't how monarchs work. They literally are under orders to act a certain way." "Exactly. Exactly. Thank you for being an amazing friend, Katie," Tamara said. "Before we sit here and probably cry our eyes out, we have a gala dinner to get ready for," Catherine said. With that, Catherine pulled her to another tight hug and went to get ready for the gala dinner. Tamara wore the Connaught tiara with her hair down in a light yellow Tom Ford gown. "You look amazing, Tamara." "Mary! Mary's back, y'all! Mary's back! Mary's back! Hi, Mary! We miss you!" "Not really. You're still an absolute cunt, but it's the thought that counts, I guess." "And so do you, Mary," Tamara said as she hugged the clown princess of Denmark. "Congratulations on the baby. I just saw a photo of him from Carl, and he's so handsome." Mary, the absolute cunt from Australia who cheated her way into becoming crown princess of Denmark, said. Yes, yes, Sandy, it's my fave. I am losing my mind, lost mine. "Thank you, and Carl is something else. He's been showing off that picture to anyone who mentions the baby," Tamara said. "I think it's adorable. He's so proud to have a son," Mary said. Mary, the absolute cunt. 13 May 2012, my 12th birthday. Happy family. Prince Carl Philip and his wife Princess Tamara share stunning new portraits with 5-week-old son Prince Aiden to celebrate his father's birthday. And my birthday. Prince Carl Philip and Princess Tamara of Sweden continued to welcome their son Prince Aiden into the world by posing for a series of stunning family portraits that include their dog. Prince Carl Philip and Princess Tamara posed with their newborn son and dog Siri outside their family home in Jotunheim Palace. Siri is the best character. She doesn't have to talk. Other portraits feature individual photos of the proud parents with their son and a family picture that was taken outside. They all act like boomers at a church potluck in some fuck-off suburb in the Great Plains. You mean the kind that, has a one-screen movie theater and they used it in, May of 2018 to show Harry's wedding to, Meghan Markle? I feel like that's the kind of town they're from. Chili salads are disgusting, though. Prince Aiden Eric Hubertus Bertil born on April 12 at Dan Jorns Hospital in Stockholm. And while his parents couldn't look any happier, the newest addition to the Swedish royal family appears to have been sound asleep throughout the regal photo shoot. The official images of Prince Aiden were released on Thursday, just in time for Prince Carl Philip's birthday. "We would in this way like to convey our sincere gratitude for all the congratulations we received in connection with our son Prince Aiden's birth. We genuinely appreciate your kindness and considerations," the couple wrote on social media when sharing the images. We're almost done. We would yada yada. The world first caught a glimpse of Prince Aiden when left hospital with his parents Prince Carl Philip and Princess Tamara in April, the day after his birth. Less than a week later, the royal family released their son's first official portrait. The image of the sleeping prince was taken by the proud father, Prince Carl Philip himself. It shows Prince Aidan, who was 5 days old at the time, dressed in a white romper suit covered in a delicate cable knit blanket, his tiny hands collapsed alongside his ears. It's not the first time Prince Carl Philip has turned royal photographer. He took the first official portrait of his niece, Princess Estelle, daughter of Crown Princess Victoria. Just a few days before his first portrait was released, the Swedish royal family attended a TDM service of Thanksgiving for the new Prince Aidan Eric Hubertus Bertil. Prince Carl Philip was joined by his parents, King Carl and Queen Sylvia, yada yada, we know. They besought a new father, could have stopped smiling throughout the service, and was showing no hint of sleepless nights, looking handsome in a dark-aged suit with a waistcoat and tie. New mother, Tamara, did not attend the service, opted to stay at home to bond with her new baby. The new Duke of Sodermanland's title was officially announced on April 22 at a cabinet meeting by his grandfather, King Carl XVI Gustaf. First, an official document announcing the baby's name was signed at Dreadnought Palace, which traditionally takes place at a royal birth. Speaker Umbra Nahlin, Prime Minister Stefan Löfven, Marshal of the Realm Samantha Lindquist, State Woman Anna Hamilton, Chief Sophia Bresmar Wendell, and Midwife Anna Estelle were witnesses. Prince Aidan was born on Tuesday, April 19th at 6:25 p.m. weighing at 7 pounds, 9 ounces and measuring 19.3 inches long. I'm losing it, guys. Hours after the birth, Carl Philip held a press conference in the hospital to announce the new arrival. When asked if he had cried during the birth, the prince replied, according to People magazine, "Yes, actually, of course, could have stopped. For me and my wife, this is obviously a great day with lots of emotion words cannot describe." Members of the royal family have offered official messages of congratulations to the royal couple on the birth of their first child, who is fourth in line to the throne. In a statement, King Carl, Queen Sylvia said, "We are extremely happy for Prince Carl Philip and Princess Tamara, and we are delighted to have become grandparents again. We hope the new parents enjoy a time of peace and quiet together with their son." Crown Princess Victoria and her husband Prince Aidan added, "Because the world revolves around these two cunts. We hope Carl Philip and Tamara enjoy these wonderful first few days with their newborn son, and we share new parents' joy." A message from Princess Madeline said she was delighted to welcome a new member of the family. 25 October 2012, their engagement was announced. Okay, we're gonna skip this because this has absolutely nothing to do with the story. And we're done. Good night. Thank God.